Hello friends, in last session we will discuss about complex algebra, how alternating quantity is related with the complex quantity that we are discussing in last lecture, and also we are discuss about the circuit behavior for RL series circuit and RC series circuit. If in circuit resistors and inductors connected in series, then how it will affect, and if the resistance and capacitors are connected in series, then how it will affect in the circuit that we are discussing last session. In today's session we will discuss about RLC series circuit. When resistor, inductor and capacitor, all the three elements are connected in series, then how it will affect to the circuit and how circuit behaves, that we are discussing this particular session. So today's session start with RLC series circuit. In RLC series circuit, one resistor, one inductor and one capacitor as shown in figure is connected in series, and when these three elements are connected in series, how the voltage are distributed among these three, that we have to study in this particular session. So this is the circuit diagram of RLC series circuit. Resistance, inductor and capacitor is connected with the alternating supply Vs, and the voltage across resistance is VR, voltage across inductor is VL, and voltage across capacitor is VC, and we are assuming that the supply voltage is Vs, which is the alternating supply, and the current passing through the circuit is IT, which is equal to Im sin omega t. Im sin omega t is the instantaneous value of current. It will change according to time. Now this is the representation of voltage vectors as shown in figure. In first diagram we will see that voltage and current both are in phase, means voltage vector and current vector both are in phase, and the phase difference between these two is 0. So this will indicate the representation of purely resistive circuit. So phase difference is 0. In second diagram you can see that the phase difference between voltage vector and current vector is 90 degree, and the current vector is lagging behind the voltage. So in last session we will discuss that if it is the purely inductive circuit, then the phase difference is 0 and current is lagging behind the voltage by 90 degree. So second diagram shows purely inductive circuit, so phase difference is 90 degree and current is lagging behind the voltage by 90 degree. In third diagram you can see that the again phase difference is 90 degree, but the phase difference is 90 degree, but the current is leading by 90 degree and voltage is lagging behind the current by 90 degree. So third diagram shows the purely capacitive circuit. So first is the purely resistive circuit, second is purely inductive circuit, and third is purely capacitive circuit. So when resistive circuit is there, your phase difference is 0. For inductive circuit, current is lagging behind the voltage, and for capacitive circuit, current is leading by 90 degree. Now these are the phasor diagrams. In first diagram you can see that voltage and current both are in phase. So I will indicate the current of the circuit and VR will indicate the voltage across resistance, and Vs is the supply voltage. So V and I both are in phase. So this is the phasor diagram for resistive circuit. In second diagram you can find the resultant, but the upper vector is your VL and the lower vector is your VC. This is your VR, means voltage across resistance. This upper vector is your VL, means voltage across inductor, and this is your VC, voltage across capacitor. This Vs will indicate the supply voltage, and this is your current phasor. We are consider current as a reference quantity. So phase difference from VR to I is 0. Phase difference between VL to I is 90 degree, and phase difference between VC to I is again 90 degree. This is leading voltage, this is lagging voltage. So this is the final phasor diagram, in which this is again our voltage across resistance. This vector indicate VL minus VC. According to the value of voltage across inductor and voltage across capacitor, it is VL minus VC or maybe VC minus VL. And this is the resultant voltage, which is equal to VL minus VC plus VR. So this is the phasor diagram for RLC series circuit. So in RLC series circuit, as we are discussed in earlier diagram, Vs is equal to vector addition of voltage across resistance, inductor and capacitor. So it is equal to VR square plus VL minus VC square. So your Vs is equal to under root of VR square, which is the voltage across resistance, plus VL minus VC, which is the voltage across inductor and capacitor square. Now VR is the voltage across resistance, which is equal to IR. Now we are discuss about RLC series circuit. So as we know, in series circuit, current passing through the circuit is always constant. So same current will passes through the resistance as well as inductor as well as capacitor. So current I is remains same for resistive, inductive and capacitive element. So VR is equal to I into R. VL is equal to voltage across inductor, which is equal to I into XL. I is the current passing through the circuit and XL is the inductive reactance of a particular inductive element, and VC is the voltage across capacitor, which is equal to IXC. Again, XC is the capacitive reactance and value of XC is depends upon the capacitor connected in the circuit. So your Vs is equal to under root of, as we had discussed earlier, Vs is equal to under root of VR square plus VL minus VC square. Now VR is equal to I into R. So you can rewrite the equation like this: Vs is equal to under root of IR square plus VL minus VC. So it is equal to IXL minus IXC. So you can rewrite like this: plus IXL minus IXC whole square. Now we are discuss about series circuit. So current passing through the circuit is always same. So I is equal to constant, or you can say I is same for resistive, inductive and capacitive circuit. So you can rewrite the equation Vs is equal to I under root of R square plus XL minus XC square. Now as we know that R square plus XL minus XC square is nothing but the impedance of the RLC circuit. So this equation is like this: Vs is equal to I into Z, and where Z is equal to under root of R square plus XL minus XC square. In last session we will discuss that the impedance of circuit Z is equal to R plus JX, and if you have to find the magnitude of Z, then it is equal to under root of R square plus X square. Same equation we are using here. Z is equal to under root of R square, and your net value of X is equal to XL minus XC. So it is XL minus XC square. Now impedance triangle for a series RLC circuit. Now the equation of impedance we already derived, that Z square is equal to R square plus XL minus XC whole square. And if you have to draw the impedance triangle for a RLC series circuit, so it is like this. This is your resistance. So this is your resistive element, which is always in reference axis. Then your X element, this is the imaginary element of the impedance, because equation of impedance Z is equal to R plus JX. J will indicate that the phase angle of this element is 90 degree. So this X will be represented over here in vertical axis, and net X or total X is equal to XL minus XC. So this vector will indicate total X, which is equal to XL minus XC, and vector sum of this two, R plus JX, will give you the value of Z. So this red vector indicate the value of Z, and this phi indicate the phase angle of the impedance. So if you have to find the magnitude of impedance, so it is equal to under root of R square plus XT square, and if you have to find the phase angle of this, then it is equal to phi is equal to cos inverse R divided by this. So using this equation you can find magnitude of impedance as well as phase angle of the impedance. So impedance Z is equal to under root of R square plus XL. XL is equal to 2 pi FL and 2 pi F is equal to omega. So you can rewrite the equation like this: R square plus into bracket omega L, which is equal to XL, minus 1 upon omega C, which is equal to XC whole square. So cos phi is equal to R, which is our resistance, and Z, which is the impedance. So cos phi is equal to R by Z, or you can write down sin phi is equal to X, total X, which is equal to XL minus XC divided by Z, or tan phi is equal to X by R, or X is equal to XL minus XC. So using any of these three equations, you can find the phase angle of the impedance, and from the first equation you can find the magnitude of the impedance. Now one example is there. A series RLC circuit containing a resistance of 12 ohm and inductance of 0.15 Henry and capacitor of 100 microfarad are connected in series across a 100 volt 50 Hz supply. Calculate the total circuit impedance, the circuit current, power factor, and draw the voltage phasor diagram. So one RLC series circuit is given to you. Value of resistance, value of inductor, and value of capacitor is given. Supply voltage is given to you. Frequency is also given. So you have to find the total circuit impedance, circuit current, power factor, and draw the phasor diagram. So first of all, you have to find the circuit impedance. Equation of impedance is already derived. Z is equal to R plus jx. So for that, first of all, you have to find the inductive reactance as well as capacitive reactance. So this is the circuit diagram which is given. R, L and C are connected in series. Value of R is 12 ohm, value of inductor is 0.15 Henry, and value of capacitor is 100 microfarad. Voltage across resistance is VR, voltage across inductor is VL, voltage across capacitor is VC, and supply voltage VS, which is given 100 volt and frequency is 50 Hz. You have to find the impedance of this particular circuit and total current passing through the circuit. So first of all, we have to find the inductive reactance XL. Equation of XL is known to us, which is 2 pi FL. F is the frequency which is given, L is the value of inductor which is also given. So it is equal to 2 into pi into 50, which is our frequency, and 0.15 Henry, which is our inductor. So your answer is 47.13 ohm. This is our inductive reactance. Now we have to find the capacitive reactance. Value of capacitor is also given. It is 100 microfarad. Equation of XA is 1 upon 2 pi FC. So it is equal to 1 upon 2 into pi into 50 Hz into 100 into 10 raised to minus 6, because it is 100 microfarad. So it is 10 raised to minus 6. So your answer is 31.83 ohm. So now inductive reactance and capacitive reactance both are known to us. Value of resistance is already given, so you can easily find the impedance of the circuit. So Z is equal to under root of R square plus XL minus XC square. Now value of R is given in the data, value of XL is already known, value of XC is already known. So you can put the value of this in the equation. So value of Z is equal to under root of 12 square, which is our resistance, plus 47.13, which is our XL, minus 31.83, which is our XC whole square. So your final equation will be Z is equal to under root of 144 plus 234, and your answer is 19.4 ohm, which is our impedance for a RLC series circuit. Now we have to find the total current passing through the circuit. So I, which is the total current passing through the circuit, is equal to supply voltage Vs divided by impedance of the circuit Z. So it is equal to Vs by Z. Value of Vs is given, which is 100 volt. So it is 100 divided by 19.4, which is our impedance. So your answer is 5.15 ampere. Now you have to find the voltage across resistance, voltage across inductor, and voltage across capacitor. Equation of VR is equal to total current passing through the circuit into resistance. Value of current is already known to us. So it is equal to 5.14 into 12, which is resistance. So your answer of VR is equal to 61.7 volts. Now voltage across inductor VL, which is equal to I into XL. XL is the inductive reactance and I is the current. So your equation is like this: 5.14 into 47.13. So your answer is 242.2 volt. VC, which is the voltage across capacitor, which is equal to I into XC. So it is equal to 5.14 into XC, which is 31.8. So our answer is 163.5 volts. Now we have to find the power factor and phase angle theta. So equation of power factor is known to us: cos phi, which is power factor, is equal to R by Z. R is the resistance of the circuit and Z is the impedance of the circuit. So cos phi is equal to 12 divided by 19.4. So your answer is 0.619. So cos inverse of this will give you the angle. So cos inverse 0.619 is equal to 51.8 degree lagging. The power factor is lagging. The reason is that when you are find the Z, okay, this is our XC, which is 31.8, and this is our XL, which is 47.13. So if you are find the value of XL and XC, the value of XL is higher than XC. So whenever you find the Z, which is equal to R square plus XL minus XC square, so XL is higher than XC, so it will indicate that inductive part of the circuit is higher than the capacitive part of the circuit. And as we know, if you are considering the inductive circuit, your power factor is always lagging. But if you are consider the capacitive circuit, your power factor is always leading. In this particular data, your XL is higher than XC, so your circuit is inductive circuit. So in final answer, you have to specify here that your angle is lagging because it is the inductive circuit. If you are found that it is a capacitive circuit, so you have to write here leading. So always specify it is lagging or leading according to the values given for inductive and capacitive element. So this is the phasor diagram. Okay. The voltage which is equal to